The Prem Rawat Foundation is helping to improve the quality of life for those most in need on 4 continents by providing meals, medical attention, and disaster relief. It is a labor of love, led by people who've been inspired by Prem Rawat's message of peace. Prem Rawat, also known by the honorary title Maharaji, has traveled the world for 4 decades, inspiring people to find peace within. His message is simple.
I don't have a written speech.
And profound. Peace, he says, needs to be in everyone's life.
That for our lives to be truly successful, peace has to be a part of it. Not divided, not missing, not subtracted. That in our formulas, peace has to be there. That the part of that fulfillment that we are looking for, that we all aspire for, includes that fundamental thing that is called peace. Look within you the need for your peace.
Born in India, Prem Rawat gave his first published address when he was 4 years old. At 8, he began presenting his message of peace throughout India. At 13, he was invited to speak in Los Angeles and London. Since then, millions of people in 50 countries around the world have come to him for inspiration and guidance.
This is a process of discovery, not creation.
Prem Rawat has been invited to present his message in many of the world's most prestigious forums, from the United Nations in New York and the United Nations Conference Centre in Bangkok, to the Australian Parliament, the Italian Parliament, Harvard University, and Oxford University. He created the Prem Rawat Foundation. His generosity, along with that of donors from 52 countries, makes it possible to help improve the quality of life for people most in need, and also to advance his message of peace.
One goal of the foundation is to provide materials that are translated into a lot of languages so that people everywhere could read or know about Prem Rawat's message. Another goal of the foundation is to continue the humanitarian activities. We are happy that we have the possibility to do this, that people are extremely generous. They want to help in whatever way they can. And so that's really exciting part of the foundation's work.
The Prem Rawat Foundation is supported entirely by voluntary contributions and the sale of related materials. Its scope is wide, providing clean water and food for the hungry, care for victims of natural disasters, and essential medical services for those who cannot afford or do not have access to medical care. Many children around the world suffer from disfiguring conditions. The Prem Rawat Foundation has helped provide them with surgery through a grant to Healing the Children.
Doctors donate their services. Sometimes they'll travel to the countries and perform the surgeries. Other times the children are brought, the transportation is provided for them, and they're brought to a facility where they can have their operation done in a clean environment. More than 60,000 children around the world have been helped through Healing the Children.
In India, poverty and a lack of health education among the nation's poorest have left 9 million people without sight.
It's a condition that people tend to accept, that their blindness is part of getting old. And in fact, it isn't. Most of it is preventable. And so the foundation has held regular medical clinics near New Delhi where thousands of people have come to receive free consultations and eyeglasses and some instructions and information on how to take care of their eyes. It's really, truly something very special and unique, and the people in the villages come from all around when they hear that this clinic is happening.
Drought and a devastating locust invasion have resulted in widespread famine in Niger. It's one of the world's poorest countries, where more than 3.5 million people are suffering from malnutrition.
The foundation has helped by providing funds that would ensure nutritious meals be delivered to these people. And we've done that through the United Nations World Food Program.
As a result, thousands in Niger have been fed.
The foundation became associated with the World Food Program because of its stellar reputation. The United Nations World Food Program has been around a long time and has a fabulous network in countries throughout the world. They're really dedicated to getting the food to the people who are in need.
From a tsunami in Southeast Asia to an earthquake in Pakistan and hurricanes in the United States, Mexico, and Guatemala, natural disasters have devastated the living conditions of millions of people. "225,000 people died, and millions were without homes when a powerful tsunami struck Southeast Asia late in 2005. More than half of the casualties were in Indonesia, the country hardest hit.
So many of the donors to the Prem Rawat Foundation wanted to contribute to help those people. And we were just amazed at the generosity. We received so much money that we approached the United Nations World Food Program because we wanted to get the food there as quickly as possible.
A significant contribution was presented by Prem Rawat to representatives of the World Food Program. The ceremony at the Italian Senate in Rome was hosted by Emilio Colombo, former president of the European Parliament. Tsunami victims in Sri Lanka also benefited from the foundation's aid when meals were distributed to children in refugee camps. Entire cities and towns disappeared when a 7.6 earthquake devastated Pakistan. 80% of all buildings collapsed in the mountainous northern region of Azad Kashmir, and over 3 million people were left homeless and hungry.
The foundation responded very quickly, and again we partnered with the World Food Program to get aid to those people as soon as possible.
One and a half million people were forced to relocate when the Category 5 Hurricane Katrina struck the Gulf Coast. It was the costliest and one of the most deadly hurricanes in the history of the United States. The impact of the damage was made worse by the stark poverty of many victims. The foundation's donation to the Houston Food Bank made it possible to feed 3 meals a day to nearly 9,000 people for 3 months.
The Houston Food Bank serves meals on a regular basis to people in need. And so they were already set up on the ground to provide transportation to the areas that were affected. And we worked through them to get the food and other supplies as quickly as possible to the people who needed it.
Cancun, Mexico was devastated by 25-foot waves from Hurricane Wilma, the most intense hurricane ever recorded in the Atlantic Basin. Many villagers lost their small homes, made from palms and wood scraps.
The foundation contributed money so that these roofs could be replaced. And we did it in such a way that the whole community was repaired. And it was so successful that a second project is now underway.
Near the city of Ranchi, in a tribal area of northeastern India, Prem Rawat recently helped celebrate the opening of a very special place.
I was very touched that people here were, at one hand, very, very simple. They had their resourcefulness. They wanted to move ahead in their life. But there were some obstacles, some things that they couldn't overcome. We made arrangements so that the local children, at least, from this area could receive food.
Each month, year-round, in a large custom-built dining hall, 45,000 free hot meals are now prepared and served to children and adults in need.
From the moment we did the ribbon-cutting ceremony and had the first meal, meals have been served twice a day to the children and once a day to the adults.
Tribal elders and local villagers are collaborating to help make this project, known as Food for People, a long-term success.
And it's really going to help the community because they're being trained to work. They're helping with the crops that are being prepared for the meals. And they're being trained on good hygiene and how to prepare things properly so that they can take over. And this will be a community project for them.
The Prem Rawat Foundation is actively working to duplicate this successful model of giving around the world.
And we hope to have more of these facilities started first in India because we have that capability now, and then in other countries.
The foundation continues to further Prem Rawat's message of peace and help improve the quality of life for people most in need.
Prem Rawat Foundation wants to reach to those people who genuinely need help. We have a multifaceted approach. Food is important, medical stuff is important, housing is important, peace is important too. And Prem Rawat Foundation is uniquely set up to address all those things.